Chelsea Football Club needed number 9. Victor Osimhen looks set to be leaving Napoli in the summer, and guess what happens? Victor Osimhen comes out and fuels the fire, linking him to Chelsea, not with only John Obi Mikel broking the deal, but now he's publicly coming out and making statements. Let's break this down. It is a big hint. It's a small one in regards to saying words, but sometimes emojis speak louder. We'll talk about it. Then we need to talk about Nicholas Jackson-Lee. A lot of people say Nicholas Jackson isn't good enough. Well, we're going to find out how good Nicholas Jackson is, because we're going to talk about the 8 games that he's going to be missing if Senegal get to the final of the African Cup of Nations. And finally, we need to preview Luton versus Chelsea. Today marks the halfway point of the season. 19 games done, and now we need to go and do better, much better than the first half of the 19 games. Luton versus Chelsea preview. We're going to talk about the players that are going to play, the players that are injured, and the tactics that I think Chelsea actually need to employ to win this game. Let's break this down. Let's get into the preview. I need you lot to enjoy the video. Hit that like button. 1,000 likes goes a long way. We are 200 people away from 32,000 subscribers. So if you're new, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Now let's get started with the Victor Osimhen news, because I'm not going to lie to you, I'm very excited. Victor Osimhen is most definitely one of the best number 9s in the world. Some would say he's the best. I would say Harry Kane still pinches it, in my opinion. A lot of people, you can argue with me. It's perfectly fine. The reality is, he's going to be leaving Napoli. People like he signed a new contract, Alex. It doesn't matter. Contracts these days that aren't worth the paper they're signed on. That is basically to have Napoli in a stronger position, get him paid in the now, and more importantly, to get a release clause to essentially enable him to leave and Napoli to get remunerated in an orderly fashion. Why do I think Chelsea genuinely have a chance? Well, Victor Osimhen is basically acting in that kind of way. Number one, the Mikel podcast, right? When he was on the Janobi Mikel podcast, Mikel kept on making jokes about him joining Chelsea. Then Mikel went as far as saying, I'm going to broker the deal. Victor said nothing. And you know what? Some of us need to understand, right? He's not going to disrespect John Obi Mikel like that. He's not going to disrespect the Chelsea Football Club. And he's not going to close the door. So he's just going to stay silent. And I said, you know what? This is just tongue-in-cheek. Let's get excited. Yes, it is a top-class player being linked with the club. Hopefully we have a chance. Now what I see is very interesting. So a fan writes, happy birthday. Can you come rescue Chelsea? Basically in those words. What does Victor Osimhen do? Out of all the things the guy can do. Love heart, praying hands. Love heart, praying hands. Do you understand what that means? He's basically saying thank you for the birthday and I'm coming. Because the reality is, he didn't need to reply to that message. He didn't need to fuel the fire. He saw what was happening there. So now we need to look at this objective. Can Chelsea make this deal happen? I think Chelsea need to get European football to make this deal happen. So that's the first obstacle. The boys can turn this around. We'll cover it in the later on in the video, and we'll see what we can do then. Number 2. Can Chelsea afford the deal? Definitely. We spend money all the time. Bowley and Clear Lake clearly put their money where their mouth is. Number 3, player clearly is interested in joining the club. Spoke about how much he loved Didier Drogba in the past. Spoke about how much Chelsea were winning in the past. There's pictures of him in the Chelsea kit when he was a kid. Meaning he has certain level of affiliation. And number 4, the biggest one of all. This individual still is drawn by Chelsea Football Club. Because if he isn't, why on earth is he retaliating with tweets like that? There is no need for him to reply to that. Yes, some people might say it's his social media agent. Yes, people say he might not even run his own Twitter. But the reality is, where there's no smoke without a fire, right? Somewhere there's a fire happening. I'm not saying he's definitely going to join Chelsea. I'm not saying put your money, put your mortgage on the line for this to happen. No, but we have a chance. And the reality is, I'm very excited because it's been a while since we've had a top number 9. Like, I'm very excited to get a top number 9. Hopefully we get. Speaking of number 9s, we got Nicholas Jackson, and Nico's done a decent job. I'm not gonna lie to you, Nico frustrates me sometimes. It's only because I have high expectations for the club, but I think Nicholas Jackson's a good player. I really do. I think carrying the ball wonderful, ability to hold off defenders very well, ability for a weight of pass very well. His issue is his finishing. And until he fixes his finishing, I don't think he'll ever be a proficient goal scorer. And some people are going to now try to talk about him as a winger. I don't think so. I think he has all the makings of a very competent number 9. Whether it's at Chelsea, whether it's at a Tottenham level club, whether it's... He will have a long, illustrious career. Purely based on the fact that he holds the ball up well. He's very athletic. He's intelligent in the way he picks up the balls in pockets, and he dribbles with the ball very well to hold it up to allow others to come in. If he gets the goals, he's going to be a complete striker. But he's 22, let him develop. And I think a lot of people now have got it in their head that he's not good enough and they want him gone. Well, you know what? You're going to get a taste of it. Because it looks like, he has been called up to the Senegal squad and he'll be going to AFCON. And the reality is these are the games that he's going to miss. He's definitely going to miss Preston at home. He's definitely going to miss Middlesbrough at home, Fulham away, Middlesbrough at home. That's 4 games. 3 cup games, one league game. Definitely missing those. Because the reality is Senegal will still have the group stages at that moment in time. So he's going to be away. After that, there's the 4th round potentially of the FA Cup if we beat Preston at home. Massive if. We've got Liverpool away at Anfield. And then Wolves and Palace. The reason why I went all the way to that point is because on the 11th of February is the AFCON final. Senegal are very illustrious at this moment in time and are one of the powerhouses in African football. Alongside Nigeria, Egypt, Algeria. Those 4 for me, I think, are best positioned at the moment to have a direct impact. I really want to see how Ghana do in this tournament as well. I think they can get Partey back. I think the arrival of Kudos is massive. I think the Williams brothers are going to be one of the Williams brothers plays for them. So that's going to be interesting to see. And for me, just all in all, it's going to be a great AFCON. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to watch a lot of it. I just love football in general, so I'm going to be taking it in. And that's a great tournament. I even remember when I was younger, I used to love watching the Ivory Coast play, man. We had Didier Drogba there. And for me, it was just like, I always wanted Didier to win, Salomon Kalou to win, Yaya Toure, Kolo Toure. So for me, it's just one of those tournaments that I grew up on watching. So I'm going to watch it again, and I'm going to genuinely enjoy it. So make sure you guys watch the AFCON. Keep interacting with me. If the demand's there, I might even do a review for certain games that you lot want. But now, let's move on back to Chelsea. And yeah, let's talk about the preview for Luton versus Chelsea. Gone are the days where we go into games and I'm like, yo, this is an easy 3 points. I don't think easy 3 points exist for Chelsea Football Club. And you know what? We're going to be positive today because this is the halfway point of the league. For Chelsea to make top 5, and yes, we need to look at top 5 because we need to somehow try to sneak into the Champions League. And that's just the type of person I am. Look, until it's mathematically impossible, I'm still going to be having hope. Still going to be checking other teams' results. I'm still going to be saying we're 11 points behind Spurs, 14 behind Villa. They could have a bad season. They can slip up. The injuries can hit. So I'm going to be talking nonsense, right? I am going to be convincing myself if I'm not convincing you. So for me, Chelsea need to start tomorrow with a win. We are all in the all eyes on me slot. The slot where in England, everybody's watching. Whether you support Arsenal, Liverpool, United, you are going to be watching that game. You're waiting for Chelsea to slip up. We need to be the club that ruins their dream. We need to turn up, we need to match their physicality, and we need to win that game. The reason I say this is because we've got this game and Fulham next. Guys, there are 19 games left. We win 12, draw 4. That gets us to in and around 65 points. 65 points should be enough, in my opinion, to get you top 5. It's about winning games. And we've only won back-to-back games once this year. It was Fulham and Burnley. We need to do it again. We need to win back-to-back games, then beat Fulham at home. That will be, for me, a key indicator that this team is developed. I'm not saying this team's going to go on a crazy run. I don't expect this team to win 4 or 5 games in a row. But I do expect this team to win 2, hopefully, 3 in a row. And then, maybe if we get a draw against Liverpool or lose against Liverpool, then we can go on another mini run. We just need to have consistency where we're winning 3 games in a row, drop points. 3 games in a row, drop points. And tomorrow with Luton, we need to match their physicality. And because of that, I'm going to go Petrovic in goal. I think he hasn't done anything wrong. I've loved that keeper. Kicks the ball when needs to. Retrieves the ball from the air very well. Good shot stopper. Just solid and safe pair of hands. It's what I want from a keeper. Safe pair of hands. Right back has to be Gusto. No debate. Thiago Silva on the right hand side. I'm going Badia Chile on the left hand side. Going Levi Colwell at the left. This is what I think Poch is going to do, and I actually think this is what Chelsea need to do. Reason being, I think we need a little bit of aerial ability. I think they are going to be dangerous. I think they are going to pump that ball into that box, and Kenilworth Road is going to be up for the physicality. I think when we attack, we can attack with a 3-2-5, and I think Colwell enables us to do that. Yes, I would much rather prefer if we had Ben Chilwell fit, or if we had Cucurella fit, then we can build from there. but this is what we're stuck with, so we need to be honest and we need to be open. I think with the midfield too, I think we only have Gallagher and Caicedo. That picks itself. So the reality is, there is no Lavia, there is no Enzo, and there's no Carney Chukwuemeka. So we are going to have to go with what we have. And it's going to have to last us 90 minutes. And hopefully the players are just going to be fit. We're not going to put too much of a burden on them, and we're just going to maintain. Then the front four is where it gets very interesting, because it looks like there's no injuries. And that is very surprising as a Chelsea fan. And I think it's a late fitness test for Mudryk. He might miss out. But at the same time, I don't think it's a good idea to play Mudryk with his injury problems 3 days after. So I wouldn't mind him missing out. What I would personally do, and a lot of you aren't going to like it, I would go Palmer over Noni on the right-hand side. I'd go Nkunku in the 10. I'd go Sterling on the left, and I'd go through the middle with Jackson. And let me explain to you why. I think Jackson's hold-up play is going to be integral, and I think Jackson at this moment in time has done more than Broja to earn the number 9 slot. I think if Nkunku's fit enough, we go with him. If he's not, you put Palmer in the 10, you put Noni on the right. But I'm assuming Nkunku's fine. Nkunku will go in the number 10 role. He is going to be that shadow striker, link up beautifully with Jackson, and on the left wing with Raheem Sterling. I think if they can do it with Mudryk, they do it with Sterling. Sterling is a proven flat track bully. He absolutely destroyed Luton at Stamford Bridge. We will expect him to do the same again. He has got a point to prove. I like when players have something to do like that. I think on the right-hand side with Palmer, I think his innovations are going to be important. Well, it's going to be very tight. It's going to be very compact. His ability for long strike, his ability to cut in on his left foot, his ability to link up with Gusto was going to be imperative. This is what I want Chelsea to do. This game can be very comfortable or can be very difficult. And when I say very comfortable, it's because if we have a half an hour spurt where we absolutely blow them out the park, it's possible. But if we start turning this into a scrap, we might be in trouble. So please, please, please do not turn it into a scrap. But this is the Kavkas View. I hope you all enjoyed it. Tomorrow, match review as per usual. So make sure you hit the bell notification, subscribe to the channel. As I've said to you guys before, I am Maurizio Pochettino out at this moment in time. I think we need to replace him because I've not seen enough progress in the last 19 games. Here are my reasons why in this video over here. But if you want to go watch my match review for the Sheffield game, here are my reviews here. So go check it out. Enjoy. Now, let's move on with the video. See you tomorrow. Bye.